The Wheel of Time Episode 4 gave us insight into power levels. Let's recap what we know so far in terms of the show. Logain was very powerful. Alanna Mosvani said that his strength was more than she had ever seen. For the sake of this video, and only this video, I am going to oversimplify the power scale and refer to Logain as power level 2, and you will see why. The purpose of this video is to make a couple points related specifically to Logain, Egwene, and Nynaeve. Okay, so it took 2 Aes Sedai at a time to shield Logain from the one power, and not just any Aes Sedai. The only 3 who were powerful enough to shield him were Kerene Nagashi, Alanna Mosvani, and Liandrin Guirale. When Moiraine got there, she was also powerful enough. These 4 women are most likely not all equal to one another in the power. They certainly are not the same in the books, so for what it's worth, in the books, Kerene is more powerful than Moiraine, who is more powerful than Liandrin, who is more powerful than Alanna Mosvani. But for the sake of this video and this video alone, let's group these 4 Aes Sedai into power level 3. When they paired up, they focused on shielding half of his power, so we can estimate that Logain was about twice as powerful as each of them individually. Liandrin wanted to gentle Logain, but Kerene insisted that they bring him back to the White Tower per the order of the Amyrlin seat. Logain eventually broke free the shield, so some fans are suggesting that Liandrin let her shield down so that he could break free, and in turn, they would be forced to gentle him. I am not sold on that, but it is food for thought. Other fans are suggesting that Logain was actually stronger than he led them to believe. These fans argue that Logain was simply waiting for his supporters to arrive before breaking free of the shields, but I will push back on that. When Moiraine and Alanna were shielding him, he did try to break free, and they prevented him from doing so. So how did he break free? Earlier in the episode, Kerene Nagashi was tired after healing Moiraine, and that surprised Moiraine since Kerene Sedai is very powerful. Kerene has held back armies by herself. Kerene told Moiraine that the healing didn't exhaust her. Shielding Logain had exhausted her. And there's more. Liandrin told Kerene that it is far harder to shield somebody than to break out of a shield. Liandrin also told Kerene that Logain was just chillin' while they were ragged. Liandrin did not believe that they could keep shielding him for the hundreds more miles left to get to the White Tower, so basically, my interpretation is that Logain was not holding back. He is about twice as strong as these 4 Aes Sedai individually, but since shielding someone is harder than breaking out of a shield, they got tired more quickly than he got tired, and as a result, he was eventually able to break free. Now, let's look at Egwene. Lan asked Moiraine if Logain was stronger than Egwene. Moiraine said she didn't know, but she didn't think so. That implies that Egwene has the potential to be around the same power as Logain. So for now, let's classify Egwene as power level 2. Of course, Egwene has a lot of innate ability, but she barely knows how to use the one power. So Egwene has a lot to learn before she can become a force of her own. But just to be clear, Moiraine and Lan's conversation was a way of telling show watchers that Egwene has the potential to be more powerful than Alanna, Liandrin, Moiraine, and Kerene. Now, let's look at Nynaeve. First off, Liandrin pronounced Nynaeve's name Nynaeve. That was a fun shout out to book readers, because Nynaeve's name is spelled in such a way that one would think her name is pronounced Nynaeve, but it's actually pronounced Nynaeve, but I drift. At the end of the episode, Nynaeve exploded with the one power. It shocked everyone, including herself. The most insightful reaction, though, was that of Logain. Earlier in the scene, Moiraine had told Logain that his power was but a trickle, a pinprick of candlelight against the raging sun that will be the Dragon Reborn. After Nynaeve exploded with the one power, Logain was shocked. As he walked forward, he mumbled to himself, quote, "like a raging sun." Those were the words that Moiraine used in reference to the Dragon Reborn. So Logain's response suggests that he began to wonder if Nynaeve was actually the Dragon Reborn, and not himself. In other words, Logain's response suggests that Nynaeve is more powerful than him. We don't know that that is true, but for the time being, let's classify Nynaeve as power level 1. We will continue to reassess power levels as we get new information, but next up, a deep dive into Logain.